So what's up, guys? Show off here before here, bringing you another vlog. Working on the Silverado again. And we did a shock video once already. Actually, these ones. We did a video on these Fox shocks. What are these, 2.0s or something?
2.0s. Nothing wrong with them, bro.
Just a 0 to 2 inch level. But now he's kind of turning this thing into like off-road, like for the dunes and kind of stuff. So he had those. Basically, he wants more travel out of this truck, and these weren't cutting it.
They only
go so far.
Yeah, they only go so far.
These new ones are going to allow for 3 inches of travel, right?
Well, it's a 0 to 3 inch lift shock, but it has a 1 inch longer stroke than that shock. So the stroke on this shock is 1 inch longer. I'm not actually going to use the 3 inches of lift. I'm just going to.
Right.
You just need that extra.
Truck's still going to be level. It's just going to have a lot more travel in it.
Yeah, downward travel. And then these, they're way heavier, that's for sure.
Reservoir.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the reservoir taped up so it keeps it like nice for now. But like, where's that other one? Like, you can see the difference in the beef.
Yeah, look at the shaft on this one. And then look at it on this one.
And the body itself is bigger. Look how much bigger the body is. The body's another 1/2 inch wider. And the shock body's up top on these ones. On these ones too, this is considered a Fox factory race shock. So it's basically one of their race shocks with factory style mounts on it. So you can put it on like this truck or a Tacoma or whatever the hell you want to put it on. Plus
That's right, this is a universal shock with a...
It's basically a universal shock valved for this with mounts for this. And then it's got dual compression adjustments. So this is low speed and this is high speed compression with the reservoir, obviously.
Yeah, that'll be cool too for us to kind of
tune it, get
figure out like
where I want it.
Yeah, be able to tune the shocks actually.
Because I'd like to, with these, I like to keep the low speed stiff on the street so it still handles really good. Because your low speed compression is like braking, turning. And then the high speeds, like when you hit a bump, when the shock wants to travel upward really quickly, I'd like to leave that loose on the street so it rides nice. It's always road nice, but if I have the adjustment.
And then, so then with these, you've got arms too, right? Control arms?
Yeah. You have to run control arms for these because the diameter is bigger. These are from Dirt King, upper control arms, ball joint caps. And then these are the beefy new upper control arms, chromoly. Which these, if you look at them compared, if you look stock for stock, you hold them at the same angle. See how much more angle the aftermarket one has?
Oh yeah.
The ball joint itself, because that's level, and look how much higher this one sits. So this one's meant to be leveled and meant to have further travel without damaging the ball joint.
Yeah. So then with these, because you got to run shocks with you got to run up control arms with those. But now with these, you have to cut out this bump stop.
Well, it's called a service stop.
Yeah.
It's basically, you know, over-articulate stock suspension, which we're going to do, because right now when I lift the truck up, the shock isn't bottoming the travel. That control arm's actually hitting that tab, or hitting that mount, or whatever you want to call it. So now it'll be able to, since I have an upper control arm that can handle that, we'll be able to cut that out and actually use.
That'll be sick.
Yeah, because I could feel it last year at the dunes. Like you hit certain spots and you feel it go, bow, bow.
Oh yeah.
With that controller, you could feel it hit that stop in there. And now this should not do that.
So yeah, he already tore this side apart. We're probably gonna get the side assembled. I'll show you, and then we'll show you doing the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So guys, look at this. We got the other side not done, but it's mocked up. You can put the wheel on and off on this side, and you're at.
The top of this cap here is like 19 inches roughly.
So 19 inches from the ground. Let's go over to this side.
This is gonna be sick.
You ain't getting the wheel off this side, or the wheel back on.
It's like 15.5 inches.
15.5, so a solid 4 inches difference.
It's probably 3.5 easily.
Wow.
I am excited. This is gonna be sick. I did not think it was gonna gain that much travel.
Wow.
I thought like, oh, 2 inches maybe. Like,
let's get this done. We need to go drive this thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna start getting working on this side. Pretty basic. Unhook the top ball joint or the upper ball joint. This will fall. I'm going to have to loosen up the sway bar link. and then take the shard out, take this arm out, and then I'll show you guys, but it's pretty easy. All right, got everything out. Upper control arms and the old shocks are out.
Old.
Yeah. So now we're gonna do the install. Here's everything fully assembled on this side.
I want to get different. I gotta change up my hose clamp situation a little bit, but for the time being, rotor hat. These are billet caps too that you can buy separate to cover up the grease zerk, which I got because we're in Michigan and they get covered in junk. Keep them nice, and they look better like that.
All right, next thing, when everything's out, we gotta cut out this mount.
We gotta cut the frame.
Yep.
That's really satisfying.
Don't need that no more. Not where we're going.
Yeah.
Well, I guess just to reiterate why we cut those out, so that control arm, because from factory the control arms rest on those if the
Full droop.
full droop gets too much. So then now the control arm like this
The
over here,
control arm can't take that much travel. Ball joint angle.
it can actually bend down, or it can droop down all the
You
way.
can use full droop of it. Because these control arms can handle it.
Okay, new shock is in. This reservoir mount, so it sits on the top. This is where the reservoir goes, and you actually, it slides over this bolt right here. I'll show you with the light.
There's like a slot in that bracket.
Slides, the bolt goes through the bracket. It's slotted for it to go in, and that's where the reservoir, sits. And then before you put the bottom in, put the control arms in, because the shock body's a lot bigger, and so your bolts to go through the control arms are a lot harder to get in with how big the shock is. So now you can actually pull this out to get the actual bolt in. So we'll throw the control arms in and then tighten up the shock. This thing's gonna be fun to ride in, dude.
Okay, ready? You don't lift that up. There it goes. Pushing more.
All right, everything's done and tight. We cleaned up. So now we're going to attempt to throw the wheels on. We're gonna have to, I don't know if this jack goes any higher. If it doesn't, we'll have to keep it on the stands and then jack up the arms or something. We'll figure it out. It's a little high, but it's not terrible.
No, it needs to settle for sure.
Have to hit some bumps, and this side looks a little lower, not gonna lie.
I'll bring a tape after that. Been low this whole time. Wow, that's weighted.
That felt pretty good.
Wow. I'm
This would feel terrible in my truck.
It'd be like riding a skateboard in his truck.
Wow.
Oh, that's way too loose. Yeah, we gotta adjust that.
That was a little bit body roll right
That's
there.
way too loose. So if I remember right, I can't see the knob very well. Stop my phone screen step. Okay, low speed is this one.
Holy crap, how many are you doing?
That's halfway. 12 clicks.
Oh, that was 6?
Yeah. Alright, let's try that. Get around that roadkill. Wow. I could go more.
Yeah.
That's a lot better. For sure. I'm gonna do another 4. Wow. This is like
Fast you going, 60?
traction control came on there. Yeah, I'm going over 60 right now.
Wow.
This thing literally floats. Dude, most fast I usually go in cars at work is like 45 down this road. One of these train tracks are going this way. Not quite 50, 60 mile an hour, but 50. Holy cow, that's way different. Dude, that felt like going over my train tracks on like 40.
Yeah.
Here, you want to get on the stand of that bridge and film it?
Yeah. Yeah, that felt like I don't ride in this every day, and I noticed a huge difference. This thing's gonna rip on the dunes, dude.
Just riding in other trucks, like. This part over here is pretty fun, actually. If you hit messy, whoops. That's 60 mile an hour. Holy crap, dude! This thing just floats! I told you you'd love it. Like those, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. Those can be the worst half the time.
dude is dying. It is so smooth. Dude, it floats.
Alright guys, so I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I recorded for the same video. Alright guys, so it's been a couple weeks since I recorded, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to get his thoughts and stuff on driving the shocks every day, taking them. We took them to the sand dunes, and I wanted to get his thoughts on having them for almost a month and stuff like that.
And kind of tuning them.
And tuning them too, yeah. So I guess
figure out what I was doing.
What is your thoughts streetwise versus
compared to the other Foxes? There's not a huge. It's actually they're softer, a little bit softer on the street. Like you don't feel as much bumps, but on the street, it's a factory race series shock, so you're not gonna make it. It's not gonna ride like a factory shock or like a Cadillac or anything like that, because it's still a race performance shock. So it's gonna be a hair harsher, but it's not harsh like it's beating you up. It's a controlled, like it's nice to drive.
And then on the dunes, tell them the difference on the dunes.
Dunes was huge.
Well, I mean, it was both probably helped with the travel you gained
well,
too.
yeah, the upper control arms made a huge difference too. Like those were solid, but it made almost too big of a difference because I got maybe a little too confident sometimes. We did wheelie this, and I'm pretty sure we jumped it at one point. Like we had the front tires off the ground for sure.
Oh yeah.
We might have had all four off at one point, but like at one point we were going 60 across sand, and it was like driving down a dirt road basically.
Yeah, it was thoroughly impressive, especially from last year.
Last year it was not as fun. I'll say that. But like I was keeping up with you and Jay on your quads for a little bit. Like I couldn't keep up over like whoops and stuff like that. Obviously, no, there's very few trucks unless you get a trophy truck that could do that. But
it felt. I mean, it felt. Not obviously, it didn't feel like a trophy truck, but it felt like it was a beginning of one.
It
like,
didn't float. It doesn't float, but it doesn't beat. It, like you still get a little bit of like harshness, like rumble strippy. I don't want to say rumble stripness, but like you still get a little bit of that jounce in that, but you're not bouncing so much that the truck is like hard to steer and like hard to keep straight, and then it feels like it's gonna fall apart.
It felt pretty controlled.
Yeah, it's much easier. You feel more confident driving it is the thing.
So what did you have to? I don't even know this. What did you do tuning wise while you were there?
When I was there, like right now, I think I only got a little bit. I don't remember. I think I have my low speed compression all the way. I think I have 2 clicks tight on low speed compression, and it's like all the way loose on high speed, just so it rides really good. And when I went there, I tightened up the high and low speed. I tightened up the low speed more, I think. I don't remember. I can't remember honestly. I kind of just went out there and was guessing because I've never tuned.
Yeah, we've never done this before.
So
Tune shock, like, so
I went out there and at first I'm like, okay, it seems like it's like nose diving a lot and that, so I tightened them up and that helped quite a bit. But
you'll kind of have to figure it out for your situation.
Yeah.
What you're doing with it, kind of stuff like that.
It also depends on the weight of the front of the truck and everything else. Because like if you have an iron block, it's different. If you have 35 light bars on the front of the thing, if you have a heavier wheel and tire, it's different. It's different for everyone, basically.
But yeah, overall, you'd say it's worth it?
Well, yeah.
I'd say so.
If you want to do something like that, don't buy the 2.0 shock. Go right to the big 2.5 and get the extended travel shock for like what I did. And don't waste your money on the 2.0 if you're going to do this. If you just want the level, go with the 2.0. It's a great shock. Nothing wrong with it. But if you're going to do this, go to this. It's better. It's worth your money. It's worth the money you're going to spend more on.
Yeah.
And you might not need an adjuster, but I got the adjuster because I figured, well, I'm already spending this much on them. I might as well just buy the adjuster.
The adjuster? Oh, the reservoir and stuff?
Well, you can get it with the reservoir without the adjusters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or you can even get them without the reservoir, too. And it saves money, but, like, I'm like, well, if I'm going to spend this money, and I'm going to do it right. I thought about going Kings, too. The only reason I went with these is because I could get these sooner. Because Kings are on, like, a year back order. and these I barely got in time. So.
And with these, do you need the control arm, or you just
need
put
the control arm with
okay?
An aftermarket upper control arm that's meant for this type of thing, because the factory one with the extra downward travel the shock allows, you have to cut the frame a little bit for that service stop, obviously. But since this is bigger here, I mean, you can see how much closer this is with a factory control arm. You'd hit for sure, and then with that extra travel coming down, you hit the coil over too. And if you're gonna put this on, and you're running a factory control arm, there's no point putting this on a truck with a factory control arm. It's just not going to do what you need, really.
Right.
It's not really what it's meant for.
So yeah, definitely worth it. Definitely saw gains. Like when you went from your stock shocks to the 2.0s, did you see much of a gain?
I seen it definitely I mean, these trucks, if anyone's ever driven one, they know they're kind of like, I don't want to say drive like old man, but they're not like very responsive, I guess.
Yeah, they're pretty.
And with the new those shocks felt more like a performance vehicle, felt a little better.
Yeah.
But like
the difference to these though.
Oh yeah.
That was. I don't even drive this truck, and I just riding, and I noticed it both the street and just the dunes. So it was definitely worth it.
Like even going up the dunes, like even where it wasn't super bumpy, it seemed like I could climb better because it wasn't jumping, it wasn't bouncing the truck as much. It was, I should actually keep the tire in contact with the sand to actually drive and pull the truck better.
So yeah, all right. Well, I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to wait a couple days or like a week, couple weeks to kind of get our true response on actually how there are with him, like driving it every day and taking it to the dunes and stuff like that, which definitely worth it. So
10 would recommend.
So you got these off? Did you get these off Custom Offset's website or Fox?
No, I got these from Shock Surplus. I was gonna get them from Dirt King, like the control arms, but Shock Surplus could get them sooner. That's the only reason. But
you got both?
No, I got the shocks from Shock Surplus and the control arms from Dirt King.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah, I would have got them both from Dirt King, but like I said, it was just a matter of who I could get them from first.
Cool. So yeah, there you have it. Definitely worth it. If you have any questions, comment down below or hit us up on Instagram, and we will answer and help you out as best we can, install or anything like that. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next vlog.